Elasticity of demand means measuring the degree of responsiveness, degree of responsiveness of demand to a change in any determinant of demand. So when you think about the determinants of demand, you have price. The law of demand tells us that as price rises, quantity demanded falls, and when price falls, quantity demanded rises. There is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. However, for what we would think of as normal goods, when income of a consumer increases, demand increases. When you think about related goods, that itself can be broken up into two major categories. One is your substitutes. So you think of tea and coffee. If the price of tea increases, the demand for coffee would increase. Then you think of complementary goods. When you think of complementary goods, you can have a look at car and petrol. So if petrol is very expensive, perhaps consumers would be discouraged from buying a car, at least immediately. Now, when we measure price elasticity of demand, we need to convert the definition in English to an algebraic expression. So when we say price elasticity of demand, equals percentage change in quantity demanded percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. We can rewrite it as PED equals percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. The reason we do this calculation is simply knowing that there is a inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded is not good enough. We need to know the impact of changes in price on various different goods and services. So if you were to think about necessities are required for day-to-day living. We must have food, we must have shelter, we must have medicines. There is no compromise, there is no flexibility possible. So whenever we cannot be flexible, we can say we are inelastic. That means this formula that we have here will give us an answer where PED is less than 1. That means even though the price may rise, we will still buy the product. We may buy less of the product, but yet the product will be bought. when you think about comforts and luxuries during a global pandemic, in any case, nobody's looking for, let's say, luxury hotel accommodation. Nobody is interested in visiting Zara. So when you think about comforts and luxuries, we can be flexible. We are not going to die if we don't get that car. We are not going to suffer if we don't have fancy clothes. So as far as comforts and luxuries are concerned, we tend to be elastic, and therefore your PED value ends up being more than 1. Now, when you think of the expression we have, percentage change in quantity demanded upon percentage change in price, the triangle in both the numerator and denominator stands for delta, which means change. Now, when you think about percentage change in quantity demanded, we can expand it as change in quantity demanded upon original quantity demanded into 100. Similarly, percentage change in price is equal to change in price upon original price into 100. Now, if you were thinking of the formula for change in quantity demanded, and for that matter change in price, looking at your original values, you think of new price minus old price, or old minus new. It is up to you, but if you're using new quantity demanded when it comes to quantity, you will have to start with new price when it comes to price. So new quantity demanded minus old quantity demanded gives you change in quantity demanded. New price minus old price will give you delta P, or change in price. Now, substituting both of the values that we have here into the original equation will give us PED equaling change in quantity demanded upon quantity demanded into 100 divided by change in price upon original price into 100. And simplifying this further, the hundreds will eliminate. We are left with price elasticity of demand, or PED, equaling delta QD upon QD, all divided by delta P upon P. Now, you have one fraction divided by another fraction, and that can be rewritten as delta QD upon QD divided by delta P upon P. Now, if you want to convert a division into multiplication, you need to take a reciprocal. So we have delta QD upon QD into price upon change in price. And we could leave it at this, but we can simplify it further and put the triangles one below the other. So delta QD upon delta P into P upon Q. So when we solve elementary sums for price elasticity of demand, this is the formula we normally use, unless the wordings in the question require us to directly make use of the percentage formula that we have here. And in some of the more complicated sums, you would need to make use of the subformulae here first before you substitute into the main formula.